Hey. Alright, I think we're actually back, but like seriously this time. Okay, I think so. Yeah. Okay, well that was really strange. OBS just decided it didn't actually want to connect to Twitch and my bitrate gave up. Or not that my bitrate gave up rather, but OBS gave up. So I have no idea what the fuck that was about. I have not had that happen in years. So that's cool. Um Fixed now, I guess. Yippee. That was really, really weird. I have no idea what the hell that was all about. Well, back to doing what we're doing, but I did blow up. Bingo was to blow up, and so I did. Oh, we should be back, and we should be able to give this another try. Um, Maybe it would be better if I did something like this to force them to go to the center a little bit more. Like if I flip this lever and it changes the water current, that doesn't push them into it enough. That's another issue on its own. Yeah, I'm gonna be a while for Nova because, like you said, I am doing shit in creative right now, so it's gonna be a while. And then I actually want to play Minecraft after this too, so yeah. Um, Maybe I could push the water source. Oh, why don't I just do that? I'm gonna push the water source back a block, right? Because if I push it back a block, then that should change where the endpoint of it is. And ideally, I can get that endpoint to be where the wither is, or something along those lines. Nope, that's not gonna work, I'll tell you right now. I wish I just had a way to like get them into one spot, you know, or have them get directly dropped onto the wither or something. You know, there was an easier way to physically get them to the right place, but I don't think that's gonna end up happening. Well, we'll try it anyways. We'll see what we can do. Lever back, there we go. We got it all fixed up after our accident there, so that should be fine. Yeah, I sure hope somebody got fired for that blunder, but you know, we'll give this a try. Button there. Okay, see that already seems to be working a little bit better. Except for the item parts, though. Did a silverfish just fall in the gap? Did I really just see that? Yes, I did. Okay, so they can fall in the gaps, which is not intended behavior. So we are going to give that another try. Let's keep in mind we didn't have any of those. And additionally, it is just killing stuff too damn slow again. Let me see if there's something I'm missing. Okay. Alright, so that's not cool. And this blows. How would we go about doing this? Okay, let's hang on. Let's maybe take a step back here and let's think about what we're really trying to do, right? So, if all it is that we're trying to do is push him into the center somewhere, right? We have our center point here that we could push him at. And appropriately, well, this doesn't need to be walls, so we're gonna actually, well, this can't be walls because of the hopper issue. But let's think about how we want to center this. And let's maybe use a block that sticks out a little bit better, like obsidian. So that way we have something. Brine obsidian or calcite. We'll do calcite. That's a nice white block. Okay. So, a couple of things. We know we've got this 5x5 that we have to have. The reason this has to be a 5x5 is because the tail, right, dips out, and then this would have to be our center. So that's going to be our 5x5. Then, I guess from here, all it is that we need to have a way to push him into the right spot. Why don't we try... Remember, our sticky piston is there, so we're not going to worry about that right now. Excuse me. So, let's just try and get something that works. Let's not worry about anything else out to the sides at all. Let's not worry about that backwater, like that, or that door, anything of the sort. Let's just go ahead and make ourselves a ring of glass going all the way around, so that way we can see what we're doing. And then let's see if something like this would work. So, does this create a spiral that pushes into a very specific center block? Yes. So, the center would be here, which is perfect, which is what we want. It's the main thing we're after right now. And then all we really need to do from here is have a lever. We'll have a lever here, like in the floor. We don't need the hoppers here anymore either. Or rather, we will come back to that here in a little bit. That's going away for now, too. Here we go. We'll do a little something like that. That's our center. There we go. Okay. So now all we gotta do is go to our corner points where all of our calcite stuff is. And then we literally just need to power it. Let's go ahead and get ourselves a redstone torch and some dust. We heard that. Very subtle, but we did hear, which is great. Okay. Do something like that. So that gets us what we're looking for. Now, if we could take this just one step further, ideally I would have it here instead. Okay, we want it there instead because we can't power it because of the sticky piston, right? Okay, well, actually, maybe this is a good thing because we can consolidate the redstone down a little bit. So we could actually have a little setup like this, a real block. Okay, see, that throws it out of alignment now. So now, instead of it being centered, oh no, it actually still is on the center. Okay, so if I were to do this, where does this push me? No, it still pushes me into the center. Okay, no, that's still fine. I guess we can leave it like that. So, with something like this, it's literally just a simple little redstone line that goes all the way down. And then flip that. That gets rid of all the water, which is great. Yeah. Okay, I think we're in a winning spot here now. Just now, all we gotta do is have the door. Well, the redstone is not activating the hoppers, if I'm not mistaken. So, and even if it is, this hopper just needs to collect, and a couple of them won't, so we should be fine. So if I flip all that open and I throw my door in there, we got the door back. So we're okay. And I can prove that that wasn't the same door by flipping all that, and now no door appears in here. So I'm very positive we're doing that right, so that's good. Let's do slash difficulty hard. And let's go ahead and spawn in. I just thought of something really serious. This might explode. There's a non-zero chance this explodes because of the hopper hitbox. Oh, can't hurt to try it. Actually, it can, but we're not going to think about that right now. Oh, no, it's bigger than the hopper, so it actually can't fit into the hole that the hopper provides. Perfect. Okay, that's really good then. So now, we can flash that and pop them down into here. And all the wither roses are taken out. See that they all bundle up here. Yeah, and I think it's just going to be a matter of time. So we're going to do slash tick, sprint, and we're going to do a 60-second sprint. Alright, we're coming up on the end of that potion here. I think they're still producing fine, so that should be okay. Maybe we'll just do one potion for now. We're not going to do a second one, just because I want to make sure that the wither can actually kill all the silverfish. And I also want to see what my rates are for a single potion anyway, so it works out quite well. Now remember, to build the wither skeleton farm that I'm planning on building, we need 2,000 wither roses, which is over a shulker box's worth. So, yeah. It looks like they have also formally stopped making silverfish. So it'll finish off this batch of them. Okay. And now we can go ahead and let this guy die. I know it's a little loud. Yeah, we need over 2,000, yeah. Because the farm that I'm planning on building is going to require a just massive crap ton of wither roses, because you need to build 3 spawning pads, and they're quite large. So that ends up being a whole thing. Additionally, too, this actually gives us a chamber to kill the wither in at least quite nicely, so we can still use this. So, 1 potion requires 1 wither, which is already a lot, and it produces about 9 stacks, 8 stacks, we'll say 8 stacks of roses. So, with that being said, if 1 potion produces 8 stacks of roses, then 3 potions will produce 24 stacks, which is about 1,000. Well, actually, 24 times 64 is way more than that, so it's getting closer. It's almost a shulker box, so we'll need to do, I think, 4 of these in total. Because if I do 64 times 32, that's 2,048. So if I were to run this 4 times and just use 1 potion per, then I should be able to get 32 stacks of wither roses from 4 potions. Now, that means I need 12 wither skeleton skulls to spawn the wither in 4 times. So we won't be able to farm it until we get the skulls and then get the roses, and then we can build out the rest of the farm by hand. So that's kind of the only deal with that. And it would probably be like 5 times because I actually want to make sure that I have enough wither roses in case something happens. So we would need 15 wither skeleton skulls that we have to grind for by hand, and then we can build this thing out and then we're good. But this is actually a fine thing. But yeah, we only need 5 potions of infestation. They're super cheap to make, so that's honestly really good. So this is a nice little compact wither rose farm that we can actually build. The allays will continue to be forever annoying. And I'm going to change this out so that way it's not the magma-based one, I think. I think I'll just have it like I had for the other one that I built before, so it'll be built the same way, just to make things a little bit more simple. It's just the chute and all that kind of stuff is what goes into place, so we'll get that all figured out, and then we'll get this dug, but it's just a lot of digging and things like that, so that should be pretty easy to do. Additionally, we will actually use the easy one that I mentioned earlier, so we'll go ahead and hop back into hardcore here real quick and just go gather up some resources. We should have more than plenty, so I don't have to worry about this. We can also turn our sound volume back up. There we go, that's better. So let's go ahead and pop over to our existing one just to see what it physically looks like, because we'll base it off of that. And it's just a bunch of glass and like some building blocks and just shit like that. So it's all very easy stuff to get a hold of. We just need to make sure we get all of it. So we don't need to worry about that because that's going to be open no matter what. It's just some building blocks, dispenser, that, water, ton of glass, and then they all fall down into a chute. And we'll pop back and forth between the creative world and this one to actually get this built out. So that way we don't have to try and memorize everything, because we're not going to be able to do that. And yeah, it should be fine. Alright. So let's go ahead and start put all this away. Let's see, we need ourselves a dispenser. So just 1 dispenser. Our trapdoors. Good. We got our water already. Some hoppers. And some chests. And some barrels too. Let's see your button. Those. Take our levers too. And again, you know, we can be a little, we can go a little overboard with all this stuff, so we don't have to like skip too hard on anything anymore, so that's fine. Wooden doors will be another one. Composter we can take with us, because that'll actually complete the farm part as well. How are we doing on trapdoors? Yeah, that's plenty good. Alright, we do the trapdoors. And then I'm trying to think, it's really just water and glass from now on. Yeah, I think that's what it is. And some redstone, right? Because we do need some redstone dust to actually power everything and some torches. We'll take those. Sticky pistons for that pushable bit that we have. Can't hurt to take some repeaters just in case. We shouldn't need them, but it is nice to have them. And we'll take an extra dispenser as backup just in case, but that should be okay. And I'm trying to think what else. I think that's really about it. Other than of course our glass and our like nicer building blocks. And then we'll have to take a while to actually duplicate the allays because they take quite a lot of time to do anything. Just awesome and cool. Also should have some amethyst shards in here I can take with us. Take 3 stacks of shards. Actually duplicate allays, that should be plenty. We'll also have our leads on us so we can bring over our existing guys. Let's see here, what else? And then it's really just glass and shit like that, so that should be fine. Alright. Glass and building blocks. Here we go. We're just going to take all of our glass. I'm not even going to think that hard about it. Let's just take the glass and be happy. And additionally, we want to build this out as something that we don't have to take any risk on having anything gets taken from us. So we'll go ahead and make some polished diorite. That'll be our building block here. Be like a nice pretty white build. The rest of our diorite back in there. That should be fine. And we also want some slabs out of these. Yeah, I think that is everything we want to bring over, so we'll just go ahead and bring it on over. And this should be a quick trip out to the end, so it shouldn't be too bad, probably. We'll see how it actually goes. We got our boat here, and we can go ahead and hop on out through the nether. And we should be able to just take our ice boat road out. I want to make sure that my spawn point is set in my bed. So let's go ahead and fly on up and go get that taken care of real quick. It is good. So that way we don't have to fly all the way back or nothing, or ride all the way back from road spawn, because that is a 3,000 block boat ride, which I don't want to take, so it's not too bad. It can be done pretty quickly, but it still takes like 30 seconds to do, so if I can avoid that, I will be happy. I really should post signs. Seriously. Why have I not posted signs on anything, ever? Oh, I'm gonna assume it's this way. That goes at the 0, 0. This is not... No, this is right, because this leads out to... Yeah, this leads out to the end gateway, or the end portal, because I had this one lit up from when I was working on this last time. Yep. We really should replace the corners with endstone at some point, but I'm not going to worry about that right now. Oh, right. And then that'll break all of that, because of course it will. Here we go. Well, we'll just go ahead and pop on up here. We have backup shulkers in case something catastrophic happens, so that's why they're there. Our shulker shell farm should be fine from now on in the overworld, but I like keeping them here just in case. Because you never know. Alright. So, we're here. Now what? Now we go ahead and we pick the corner that's the least fucked up, which is going to be this one. And off of our center point here, let's back up a tick. So we're going to go ahead and grab some of this stuff. There we go. We're at 0, 0 right now. That's where we're going to want our hopper to be. Mainly what we're focused on. I brought some obsidian with me because I tend to bring some luckily. And, you know, we can get some otherwise. That's not really too big of a deal. But, figured it'd be good to point out. Alright, so, sitting goes there. We want to make a square, 5x5 square, of polished deep slate. Polished deep slate. Polished diorite is actually what it is, but sure. There we go. Our nice pretty floor. And we'll mark the corners out a little better here too. We'll use, I don't know, we'll pick something nice, whatever we have that is. We don't have a whole lot of nice stuff here. Can we make endstone bricks like this? We can. Alright, endstone bricks it is. So that way we can go ahead and mark out the corners. The reason I'm doing that is because this is where our trapdoors are going to be, right? So we want to get ahead and get those pulled up. There we go. One sticky piston. Get that ready. Want all of these pulled up like this. That needs to all be flat in floor. There we go. Do a little something like that. Actually, this last one is a little bit special, remember. So we actually want it there, and then we want a sticky piston here, the glass block on it. Let's go ahead and get our glass then. There we go, do a little something like that. Right. And additionally, we need to hollow this out a little bit, because this is going to be our easy way in and out of here. This has to be 2 blocks tall, too, to deal with the enemy. That. Do a little something like that. There we go. Forgot to bring any regular doors with me, but I think that'll be okay. Alright. Now this is where we want to get out our scaffolding. And we'll have some scaffolding go deep down under here. We'll go ahead and hollow everything out here as well. Well, up to a point, that is. Do that. And then we can go ahead and install some scaffolding now. Here we go. That gets us in and out of the farm nicely. We can also install an infinite water source out here in the back, as we can. So we'll go ahead and pop that down in here. Look how fast I managed to get this spell out since we actually took the time to learn what the hell we were doing here. Doing really good. Grab that. Nope. Go. That. And that off. Go. And then we don't need that anymore technically, but I think we'll leave it just in case. And then lever-wise, we actually need to take a sec to pop back up into here and go grab the rest of our crap. Here we go. We'll go ahead and pop on down into here. We'll put some blocks just that way it's a little bit easier to line ourselves up in the future. There we go. Alright, and then redstone-wise, where do I want this lever? I think I want it here. We center it on the farm, and then we will have the copper at the chest. Have the chest pop out there. I feel like that'll be good. Actually, we'll move it around a little bit more. Additionally, I can get rid of this now. Here we go, so we'll do a little something like that. And then lever-wise, yeah, we'll just tuck it there. That should be okay. We'll move it over a block. Yeah, okay, why not? It's actually going to be right here. Then, from here, we can go ahead and grab ourselves some redstone dust. 27 should be plenty. We have to route it a little funky here, but that should still be okay. Is we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, yep, 11, 12. Yeah, we'll have enough juice for that. Perfect. So we can go ahead and tuck all of that away. We don't need that no more. And we'll go ahead and loop in redstone componentry. Like so. We do, however, need to get the hoppers done. I think we'll do that. There we go. That'll get us plenty of space to do whatever it is that we gotta do. And we'll just have that be blocked off just because. And yeah, that just gets us a really clean set of lines out to everything, so it should be really good for managing all this stuff. Now if we flip this lever, it lowers the piston and releases all the trapdoors. And again, we can go ahead and test the water here. Sure that this works. So you can see the water eventually pushes it out to the center. No matter which corner we stand in, we will always end up right here where the wither can comfortably kill everything. It's just where we want it. You can also see it swirl out to our item, which we can again go ahead and pick up. And we additionally would like to get just a little bit of wood here. Because we want to have a door that we can pop in and out of. So let's go ahead and not get a crafting table because we seem to have abandoned it somewhere. Luckily, we always carry some spare logs on us, so that's alright. Okay, well luckily we carry spare planks on us. That's cool. We'll restock that when we get home. That'll be fine. A little annoyed, but whatever. Here we go. It's all planks. Yep. Here's what the doctor ordered. And I think I actually want my door to be centered here. Go. Do a little something like that. Alright, well that comes back with me, so that's fine. We'll tuck all this away. We'll tuck that away there. And this can stay embedded in a corner. There we go. So we do a little something like that. Put our extra planks back too. Alright, and then this should formally get it all up and running. Additionally, I want to prep a button. Button here that at some point it physically goes up and powers the farm. So I can launch potions automatically when they run out of silverfish to give me. At least that's the dream. So, with that done, now we can go ahead and build the damn farm. So let's go ahead and get our blocks back out. Here we go. These are going to get a little jumbled right now, but that's okay. Do a little something like that. 3, 4, 5. You can also see too that our line goes in a bit of a weird direction. We will have to reroute a little better, but not right now at least. Additionally, I didn't bring a fence gate with me. Well, I guess it don't really matter, frankly, so I'm not going to worry about that for the time being. We're going to pop out some scaffolding, like so. And we're going to go ahead and build this up to be 2 blocks high. Put that there. That block there is going to be what the allay stand on. So maybe we'll have it be a solid block instead. That way we can denote that a little better. Okay, cool. Then I forget how specifically the sides were built up. Let's pop back over into the creative world real quick and see how we did that. We don't have to be here no more. Forgot that's where my spawn is. Right. Okay, well. /TP 0, 0, 0. There we go. Alright, cool. It should be by my bamboo farm here. Yeah. Okay. So, we build the block, you have a ring 1 block above that, and then there's a half slab. So there's a block and a half of space for them to physically interact with. That's what we're aiming for. And then your dispenser's out to your side and all that kind of good stuff. Alright, yeah, we can build that easy. Pop back to Bingus. There we go. We're gonna build this up a little bit higher. Right. Additionally, we want that slab now. So we want a ring of blocks going around. I think our bitrate's still doing good, so I guess that was just a freak thing that ended up happening. And then we would have our slab, it's a top slab, like that. And then, how did I build that in proportion? Okay. So the top slab, and then the block above the top slab is the roof. So block above the top slab, which would be here, is the glass roof. Go. And then technically, we don't have to have that ring of glass like that. We can use trapdoors instead, I think. Because we don't actually have a toggle for this. So those fence gates were only there in the past because they acted as a toggle for which we could flip the farm in and out of stuff. And we don't need that here. So we can go ahead and just pop that down there. It'll keep them contained fully. And then, yeah, I mean, that should be fine. Actually, no, because there is a chance that I right-click. No, something's not right. No, I am supposed to waterlog the top slab. Okay, that's fine. So if I want to waterlog this, I just have to waterlog the top slab to get that jump started. So that should be okay. So there is a world where I do fuck that up though, because of actually having to breed the allays. That's where my problem's going to be. If I have any problem, it's going to be because I didn't breed the allays right. Do that. We'll keep it simple like that. So it'll still spit them out at an appropriate rate and all that. That'll be fine. Yeah, okay. Oh, because that's going to be a pain in the ass to redo over there. That was just more to show proof of concept. I want something a little nicer here, so that's... I think I looked at one. I think he also... Oh, there he is. Oh, I have a surprise waiting for me at home. I just want one built out of glass, but the other one was built in the end like that. It was just like a copy of it, so it's not quite going to work for what I want to do. So I would rather just have it like this. It's just a big chunk of glass, hard to miss, can't fuck it up. And, yeah. So, additionally, we're going to... I think this has to be... You know, I'm not really sure where I need to look at this from. I think it's going to be here. Is where we're going to put the dispenser. We'll move some stuff around, things like that. try and be a little quirky. Now, how the hell am I gonna trigger it if it's like that? This was a trick question because I'm not. So, we need to have that there, and then I just try to do creative flight by double tapping because I'm such a smart person. From here, we need to have solid block, and then this is where we go ahead and we loop the redstone over. Which, a couple of things, it was actually over here, so that's not going to work. I think we're just going to do a simple redstone torch tower. And we're just going to have a button on the wall that controls this. Which makes enough sense, so yeah, we'll do that. So we're going to go ahead and take this button back. Thought that broke it, apparently didn't. There we go. Pop over to our redstone. Start torch towering this thing up. We're going to switch all these out with polish though, because I can't. Alright. And then we're going to pop on up here real quick. There we go. Do that. And then we need our redstone dust and a repeater. Additionally, we're going to take all of that out. Alright, so now if I were to go ahead and push the button, your dispenser failed, so it does do it, so that's all good. They're banned for the Peter Griffin joke, goodbye Mario. And, let's see here. We'll just keep it simple and do that, that should be fine. And we also need that slab with us. Alright. So now all we should have to do is get into the farm and put some allays in here. So we get some allays in here and then we seal it off with the top slab. So we would lure them down into there and then we would pop our top slab and then boom, we're done. And then we just have to duplicate them a bunch, which will definitely take some time to do. Additionally, we need to actually do this a little better for the water. Because I don't know if you remember or not, but we will have flowing water at some point. So we need to make sure that every block adjacent is able to do it, because ideally what we're going to do, and we'll go ahead and break on out of here again. Oh no, we still have glass. Alright, so we can also patch this up here real quick too. There we go. Alright, so quick little test here. If this were ready to go, I would have my allays in there, have that done, and then I actually would need to have access to this, so this has to stay. And then I would have myself a water bucket planted in there. Notice how the water just pushes straight out and it gets stopped by the trapdoors. So that will force everything out just fine. If I... Let me get a button real quick. I need a test button for this. I don't know if powering this will also power the trapdoors. I don't think it will. Yep. It only powers the dispenser. Perfect. Cool. So, we can go ahead and do that. And then that should actually get us done on the componentry. So now all we need to do is go lure some allays here. We need to break that. We got ourselves in a little bit of an annoying bind here, but that should be fine. We can just break the glass and replace it. It's okay. So we'll do that. Additionally, I should make sure to have easy access with a door. Let's go ahead and get ourselves a door here. There we go. We'll do a little something like that. Alright, that gets us comfortably up to the top of the farm. And then all we have to do is get our allays in there. Once they're in, we seal them off, and then we start the slow process of duplicating them. And then at some point, we eventually get 24 of them in there. So we're going to have to make sure that we have a stack of 24 in its own special little spot. Like that. Alright. Now we can put that back. Here we go. Also make one more thing of slabs here because there is a chance I lose this slab, and if I don't have another backup on hand, I could get really out of hand really fast. So let's make sure we get a couple extra, like so. And otherwise, I think we're ready to get this started. So again, all it's going to do is it is going to produce a bunch of silverfish. Because we're going to have the allay drowned, by the way. That's how they're going to take their damage to physically get everything to die. So that should be okay. So they're going to drown. That'll spawn a bunch of silverfish. Let me double check again that that was built properly. So you can see they're on a solid block. This is a full air block. They go up there, and then they got their slab. So they naturally want to try and fly up, and then not to mention the water itself will physically push them up. So yes, we built it correctly. We're all good. We got our air block, and then the block above it will have a half slab, so it's a block and a half. So yeah, we'll be okay. All right. Now all we gotta do is go get our allays in place, and then go bring over some infestation potions. But let's go ahead and do a run through again. Fall down into here. We would basically be down in the farm. We would hit the button. That triggers it. They start taking damage. We flip this to get all of the water open along with all the trapdoors after we have spawned in the wither. And then the wither spawns. It blows up at the first time, and then the silverfish will just start flowing and come down here. And then we're good. Cool. Alright, we got it built, so I think it's functional start to finish. Shouldn't have to worry about nothing. It's got some nice quality of life stuff in it. It's got plenty of space. And really, all we gotta do is take some of our shards back with us. And our leads are gonna be out in our hand as well. And we go back to our base. It is nighttime. And yeah. Let's go ahead and go grab those sons of bitches. And we'll go grab a music disc too. There we go. Alright, so we should have one of these will just be music disc. We got one wither skeleton skull, so we need to get 2 more. Where do I put those basically? I'm pretty sure I put them in with the valuables in here. I just keep glossing over them, don't I? Yep. Here we go. Get other side for ourselves. And then additionally, we're going to grab our wither skeleton skulls. We're going to keep these on us from now on here because I feel like it. Because we're going to be doing some farming after this to make sure this all works. And otherwise, we just have to pop on out to the correct side of our base. So we'll go ahead and glide on over. The Allays are in jail, so where they belong. And we're just going to do this one at a time. So we have a backup Allay in case something bad happens. Hopefully it never comes to this. So we're going to take away his hay bale. And he comes with us. We're also going to give him an amethyst shard to hold, because I feel like being nice. He's also dumb and stupid and won't fucking get out. There we go. Okay. We get him. We're going to lure him with amethyst shard, so he thinks he wants to be near his friends. Oh, he does not. Nope, he does not. He actually would like to follow me very much. So we're just going to go ahead and yank this guy along with us, and we just have to transport Allay from the overworld to the nether, back to the overworld, and then back to the end. How hard could it be? What are you stuck on, you fucking moron? Dude. Dude, come on. I'm gonna, like, shit my pants, aren't I? So you dupe them with amethyst shards while music is playing. It's a very intuitive system, you see, you just wouldn't get it, you know. But yeah, it's a little goofy, won't lie. But hey, you know, if it works, it works. Can't really complain too much about it. So we'll go ahead and run these guys over. Should be fine. But honestly, it's easy enough because the fact that they duplicate is nice instead of like having proper breeding. So it does actually make life a little bit easier here. But yeah, I know we could take like an actual boat on the ice boat road. That's kind of the point of it. But I would like to run this one by hand because I don't know if the lead will snap if I don't. And additionally, we're going to go ahead and get the hell out of here. Alright. Should be able to drag him through the portal just fine. And then the part for concern is actually going to be getting him into the end gateway, or into the end portal. Because that's actually quite annoying to get something through that flies, is you have to push him through. Unless I get him in a boat or something. Okay, I think he went through. I don't see him anymore. He can't have just vanished, so I think he went through. Oh. Duh. I broke all the way up here, but I hear Allay yearn, so... Okay, perfect. You are coming with me. Alright. We got our one Allay here. So hey, that actually wasn't too bad to transport him since we can leash him, so that's quite nice. And basically from here, we can go ahead and plop in other side up in our jukebox at the top. He got stuck. Okay. Dude, come on. Okay, we want that there. Holy Christ, dude, take it easy. Dude, what the fuck was that? Did you see that? That's insane. Dude, take it easy, relax. Damn. Okay, he's locked in. So, I actually have never seen him skedaddle that fast. That is bizarre. Well, alright. This is where the boring, arduous part begins, and we are going to be here a while to do this. So, we need to just chock these fuckers full of shards. Like, seriously, these guys are going to be on crack, alright? Like, we have got to fatten these guys up as hard as possible. A crap ton of shards. We're going to grab a stack of shards. Let's think through this rationally, right? We know that we're going to have 24 allays, so we need 23 more. And additionally, each of those allays is going to hold an amethyst shard. So, we actually need 46 shards, 23 to breed, 23 to give them stuff. And that will get us 24 allays, all holding an item, just to make sure that I don't try to clone anything that isn't cloned or whatever. And again, this gives us an accurate count of what's going on, so we'll go ahead and do this. Additionally, I'm going to go ahead and get a block of glass. We'll just go ahead and pop a block here. Looks like we will be popping more than just a block. We're gonna have to have a whole ass staircase for this. Alright, we now have 2 allays. Let's check their hitboxes, they're in the same spot. Alright, and then now we sit here and we wait. And additionally, to proof of concept this, see that brings him up. Make sure he gets an amethyst. And this is our life for right now. So all we do is we sit here and we wait. Their cooldown lasts, I think, 5 to 10 minutes. So we just sit here and wait, basically, and that's it. Yeah. That'll be fun. We'll we'll make like 15 infestation potions, and then we should be fine. Let me check the wiki, but I think it's like 5 minutes before you can duplicate them again. So unfortunately, this is going to be kind of slow, and I have to sit here. I can't not be here, because otherwise their cooldown won't change, which is awesome. It is not 15. It better not be 15. It's 5. Okay, it's 5 minutes, so that's okay. Yeah, it takes 5 minutes for it to go off a cooldown. So that's cool. So we get to wait 5 minutes between each batch before they go off a cooldown. So that's nice. So after 5 minutes, we turn 2 allays into 4. Another 5 minutes, 4 to 8. And then 8 to 16. And then we're going to turn 16 into 24. Additionally, we're going to block that off like that. So that way that's okay. Yeah. No, see, because if I make potions while I wait, I won't be here, so I have to just wait for them, unfortunately. Because they're dumb and stinky. So, yeah, that's all good. We can kill Enderman for a little bit so I can at least fix up my tools and shit, because why not? Maybe we'll prettify the, we'll make the area around here a little bit prettier. Just so that way we actually have a little bit better of a space to walk around in. So we'll flatten all this out. And I kind of want some extra end stone anyway, so it, works out. We'll figure something out. But yeah, this chunk has to be loaded that they're in, so I could bring the brewing stand, but that means I'd actually have to go back and bring the brewing stand, and I don't want to do that, so I'm not going to do that, and it's that simple. So, yeah. It's truly that easy. But I can mine and shit, it'll be fine. I also want to think, too, about how I'm going to get some of this other shit done down the line, because we do need to actually farm for wither skeleton skulls, so that's going to be cool and awesome. So we'll have to think about that. Yeah. Who knows, I might shit on stream one day. Ooh. We'll just do something like that to smooth it out, and we'll flatten this stuff out a little bit better. Here we go. We'll just do a little something like that. So you Red wants to see Marrow, so you're in the minority here, so I don't know what to tell you. There we go, do a little something like that. Yeah, gets us our entrance. Then otherwise, just taking stock of everything we have, I think we're fine. You know, we can like debundle some of this stuff here as well. That there. Got our scaffolding box, we can put that back in there. And I mean, really, we can just do some basic cleanup here just to make sure we got a nice, simple inventory. Got some more endstone. And we will go ahead and give these guys another try here. Also make sure our lighter's out of our hand just in case. Nope, not on full cooldown yet. Tough. It should be coming up on it though soon. Please, just let me do it. Oh, wow, actually, perfect timing. So we are now at 4 allays. It's another 5 minutes. So we can do this again. Oh, and additionally, we don't want this blocked off because we need to physically get into that at some point. And I think we'll put the glass block here. That's where our potions go, so that should be fine. So 4, and then, let's see here, 8, 16, 24 will require like 15 more minutes of waiting. So 5 minutes for 8, 5 minutes for 16, 5 minutes for 24. So yeah, it's just another 15 minutes. It's not really too bad. We can kill Enderman in the meantime. Can't hurt to get more Ender Pearls too, since we tend to be quite short on it. There we go. Rude. I'm only just trying to kill you, man. Relax. You get to fight. You get to watch me fight Enderman poorly for half an hour. That'll be fun, right? It's either this or I mine obsidian. It's one or the other. Both options are not particularly good, but they are the options we got. So yeah. I will probably end up mining some obsidian anyways, because I actually do kind of need to make sure I get some extra, so... Being a hater, goodbye. Alright, I think they're good at like 112, so we've only got like 2 more minutes of waiting here, and then I can go duplicate another batch. So that'll be good. And then we'll probably spend like 10 minutes mining obsidian. I teleported away fast. This guy's a hater. Damn. Rude. Not nice. Yeah, and these are all pretty well fixed up, so I'm not going to worry too much about them. Alright, cool. Oh, we're coming up on that time again, so that's good. We'll put these away too. Get our amethyst shards here again. Wait a minute. Why do we have 46 again? That's not right. Alright, we need to do another recount. So we have 4 in there already, we need 40. We need 40 because we need 20 more lays, so that should be okay. We'll go ahead and restart the jukebox. We'll go ahead and not drown them. And instead, we will pop down and go get some more glass real quick. Pop that there. And then we additionally want to make sure that we have like a nice ring of glass going the whole way around, because we need to physically reach them on all sides here to do what we gotta do. I'll block that off just for my own sake. Alright. That's 3, 4. Let's hit F3 and B to see hitboxes here. Whoops. They won't ever die from that, by the way, but it will get annoying, so... I don't know if all of them have shards. I don't think they do. I'm not feeling like they do, so that's what I'm gonna assume. They might, though. Well, it certainly looks like they do. And I think I see 8, so... I think. Yeah, I mean, I'm right-clicking as much as I can here on them, and it doesn't look like there's too many issues, so we should be okay. Yeah, that seems fine. There we go. We'll go ahead and drain that out. Alright, another 5 minutes, so at 119 there. Rather, 117, I guess, since we didn't have to duplicate anymore. So we'll just go ahead and mine obsidian in the time. We always need more obsidian. Because we actually should probably dot some ender chests around the world a little bit better, and we need them for our nether portal chunk loaders anyway, so... You know, while we're waiting, we still have stuff we can do to further things along, so... We can turn on hitboxes again now. Additionally, why don't we go ahead and get some torches here too? Because we are going to need to light up all this obsidian at some point. Because it is annoyingly hard to see through anything when it's all pitch black like that. Who would have thought, right? What do you mean light absorbs all colors? This is, you know, all light is bullshit. That didn't make any sense. I am also interested in building an obsidian farm at some point using the wither and like the regenerating obsidian platform that the end has. So we'll try and consider doing that down the line. Because it would be nice to be able to farm obsidian because it is a nice block for building, and then not to mention like ender chests and things like that too. It's actually quite useful, so it is worth having. And I mean, you don't really use obsidian for a lot of crafting or anything like that, but as just a nice like immovable building block, it is actually pretty useful. So I would like to have a bunch of it. All right, our timer should be running up here. So we should be okay to head back here in a little bit. Give it another minute or so. Damn, it's only 4:30 today? Yeah, it's pretty good. I've actually gotten up quite early today for once, so I actually have fixed my sleep schedule, I think. It's back to normal. I hope I can keep it that way, but since it's a weekend, this is prime time for me to fuck it up again. So there's a good chance I do, so I hope I don't, but I might. So we'll see. Alright, we'll finish mining out that block there. That was 70 obsidian, that's quite good. And now we get to pop back and start it up again. Alright, so let's remember, I believe we need to do this until we're at 16 shards. So until I physically have 16 shards left in this stack, that's what we're after. Because we should have 8 in here. So just keep right clicking until you're down to 16. We're at 20, so we are getting closer. 19, 18, 17. One more that I need to give a shard to. Who on earth could it be? There we go. Okay. Perfect. Now we just got 5 more minutes to do our last batch, and then we will officially have 24 lays in that little area, which is exactly what we need. We do want 24 because we want to be able to crank out as much silverfish as humanly possible. And we're only going to do that by having 24 lays. So yeah, that's also where the entity cramming limit starts to kick in and fucks everything up, which is why we want that many, and only that many. So yeah. Very fun. And we can go back there at like 1:24 on the stream timer, so another 5 minutes left. And then we will head on back. This obsidian will be great to have too, so this will help out a bunch. And slowly but surely, we are also padding out all of our farms. So I have a list of 50-something farms that I wanted to build. And I think we've done over 15 by now. We've done quite a lot, and we have plans in the very near future to pick up a nice chunk of them as well. So we are doing quite good. Doing very good. This will get us our Wither Rose farm, and then we will directly use the Wither Rose farm to build the Wither Skeleton farm, so that'll make 2 when that's all ready, which is great. And then, you know, we got like the honey farm we need to build out, cactus farm, the kelp farm. Oh, there's a ton of micro farms. The kelp farm is one of the micro farms, because I don't actually need to farm a bunch of kelp for like anything, frankly, so I don't really care about it. So we'll have like a section just with micro farms and shit that I can just plug a bunch of bone meal into from the mob farm, and then it'll like fuel whenever I need it. So that'll be cool. And then we just got to keep doing shit. But yep, we just got work to keep doing here, so nothing too difficult. Just gotta keep moving along. We do have obsidian. Almost 2 stacks. Neat. I think I said at 124, but we got another 3 minutes of obsidian mining before we can head back over. We officially passed 2 stacks as well, which is quite nice. And let's see here. After we get all these allays in place, we need to cook up some infestation potions, but that can come after because what we actually need to do first is we need to kill a bunch of wither skeletons. Which that's where most of our time is going to be today from now on, is killing a bunch of wither skeletons to try and get at least 3 skulls so we can show that this works as is. And then we'll see if we can get more skulls throughout time. So, yeah, we'll try and do what we can. We're only going to use 1 potion per run through. Actually, no, we'll use 2 because that'll eke us out a little bit more, and maybe that'll save us on having to spawn another wither. So instead of having to spawn 5 withers, maybe we'll only have to spawn 4. And these infestation potions are really cheap to make, so like I don't have to feel too bad about using 2 of them. Additionally, I should be able to clean up the silverfish quite easily with a sweeping edge here. Like I can just go in and whack them and then they're done, so we should be okay with that. And yeah, they don't have anywhere to infest either, because I made sure to do that just in case. And plus, it's just bad etiquette, bad practice to build that out of infestable blocks, so especially if you're dealing with silverfishes, that will fuck everything up, but we'll be okay. 1 layer of an end pillar, by the way, gives you 2 stacks and 50 of obsidian, in case anybody asked, so that's cool. Good to know. Should be about time. So we'll go ahead and start the music up again. And this will be our last batch of allays, then we clear the glass out. Yep, here we go. Keep going until the stack is empty and out of our hands. One more left. Okay, perfect. I got bread. Alright, we're done. Care about this anymore? All this shit goes away. Whether or not it's 24, I will not know for right now, and I will never find out, frankly, which is fine. I don't need to find out. We leave those 3 intact specifically because that's how all this shit gets made. And now this is done. We will never ever go back in here again, so we're gonna go ahead and seal this off. Keep it simple. And then we'll leave the jukebox with the music disc in it because we can do that. And then the rest of this stuff will come back with us then. And then this is all set up and ready to go. So, yeah, cool. And we'll let the glass despawn. I don't have to care about that at all. It still works as intended. Daily items did manage to flow through just fine. There we go. Tuck all that away in there. And then we'll tuck the obsidian at the door in there. Alright. And now we go to the nether and we go grind wither skulls for however much time this is going to take. Which may take some time. So let's pop back on through. Back at our base. We can go ahead and sleep. And then we have to kill a bunch of wither skeletons, and we actually have to do an evaluative check on some stuff as well, because I actually need to know if the area that I'm thinking of that I would like to build this farm at, okay? We have to build the wither skeleton farm specifically in. I'm gonna ignore that guy. We have to specifically build it in a Soul Sand Valley wither or Nether fortress. Okay, has to be there. Can't not be there. It's got to be there, right? So planning around that, and then additionally, I'm looking for some stone here because we're gonna use this to hook up some of that. There we go. Where that goes. Go grab a stack of gunpowder, and then we'll grab that stack of bottles or whatever that we have. I think I had gunpowder in its own one. Yep. We'll grab a stack of gunpowder. So, bottles were another one. Go ahead and pop it there. That's an empty box. Great. And this should be all the ingredients we need. We have nether wart down there, obviously. So we will make sure to go ahead and do that. Additionally, we're going to go ahead and fly around here. And we're going to go brew up a bunch of potions. So this should get us plenty. And we actually had plenty of bottles anyway, so we should be okay. We can fill up a whole shulker box. We may as well. We'll try and do this in one go. Go. This out real quick. Prime these. Really should have this whole like wall, not the whole wall, but like I should at least have 9 so I can cook like an entire shulker box's worth at a time. You know, be useful. Here's 1, 2, 3, 4. I am planning on making an auto brewer at some point here, so just not for a little while, I guess. Throw that away. Go. There we go. Get all that brewing. And now we wait. Bright side too to running this wither rose farm in preparation for the actual wither skeleton farm to get all the roses. We kill 5 withers, we get 5 nether stars, which means we get 6 beacons in total, so we can actually have a sextuple beacon in our base, which would be really cool. We haven't built that yet. That would actually be a good time to redo the beacon layout and do some future proofing for that, because I feel like we're not in a particularly great spot with our beacon, and it needs to be moved a little bit better. So we will try and figure that one out. Ideally, we can just have like a sextuple beacon or something like that in like an area. That'll pretty much be fine. But we're not going to worry about that right now because we don't have 6 beacons to worry about. We got all of our infestation potions, however, so that's all great. And then all we do now is we go to the nether and we go fuck shit up. And that's it. So super easy stuff to do. This is where most of the time goes today, unfortunately. It's doing this. So that's the only other trade-off, is we are gonna have to put in some work here. But it'll be okay. You know, we got the inventory for it. We got enough space in our boxes. We got all that kind of good stuff. It's just a matter of getting lucky, is kind of the annoying thing. And maybe we could have also made fire resistance potions to deal with blazes, but that's fine. This goes into the actual fortress itself, so we don't really care about this area. This is what we're actually after. So this was my deloading and reloading road that I had made. So that way we could physically go in and out. And we are in the nether. Which, no shit, but what biome specifically are we in? Soul Sand Valley. It should be Soul Sand Valley the whole way through. Nope, see, this is Nether Waste that we're in right now. So, considering this is Nether Waste, I think the rest of this will not be viable then as a result. Or at least not to the degree that I'm hoping for. Alright, well, for right now, we just do what we can. Knock these guys out. And yeah, we're gonna have to find a nether fortress in a Soul Sand Valley that works a lot better. Okay, well, he despawned. Weird. And we'll just keep those back at there. There we go. And we'll go ahead and take an ice boat road back. Really, that's all we do is we just go back and forth here. Just to try and unload and reload the fortress. Maybe I should use a minecart instead. And additionally, I don't think this is going to work as well as we think for us, so we may be better off in just flying around the nether and finding a more appropriate fortress for this. So I think that's what we're going to do. This is also going to be really, really annoying to try and do as well without chunk base, since we're still committed to that. And out of all those new spawns, we got one wither skeleton. Did not drop anything. Well, we dropped coal and bones, but that's, yeah, that's a given. Yeah. We'll kill these guys and then we'll fly out of here and go explore the nether and see what we can find. Fucker, you stole my kill. Oh, we got a skull out of that. Hey, that was actually quick. That was lucky quick, but it was quick, so still counts. Alright, well, anyways. This is the part where we go ahead and pop that on. And we fly out into the world and see what we can find. We should have our handy dandy coordinates book on us as well, which is perfect because we will definitely need that. And again, the tutorial that I am going off of. What the fuck is that? Is that a. Okay. That's a Strider jockey. I just was wondering what the yellow was, because I never had seen the yellow on something like that before. So. That's cool. Anyways, we are looking for a nether fortress in a Soul Sand Valley that's also physically open. So it's open to air, it's pretty well exposed, and then the only thing around it is Soul Sand Valley. I wonder if basalt deltas would work, because if so, this would actually be really nice, because this is like smack dab in the middle of a basalt delta. But then it goes into another way, so this isn't usable. That's a shame. Fly through and get to what we can. We only need to find it once, and then we're gonna do like bedrock breaking and all that kind of stuff to pop up onto the roof. So that way we can, like, not that we can portal here, but we can take an ice boat road here a lot better. Alright, if there were any time for another fortress, now would be it. Bastion. Bastion. It's a fucking bastion. Really? I had spent so long looking for these and only got fortresses. And now I shut the fuck up, Maru. And now that I fucking finally am looking for a fortress, I get a bastion. Like, okay, bud. Maru, quit doing a little trolling. Oh, right. There are also brutes in here that I don't really want to be near. In fact, I actually don't really need to be here at all, frankly. So we're not going to be here. We're just going to cut our losses and bail off of that. But I can't believe it. The one time I'm out looking for a fortress, I find a second bastion. Come on, man. That's fucked up. You can't do that. That is so not cool. Why? How did I find two of them like that next to each other? Really? But all the luck I could fucking have. Seriously. Yeah, they were basically right next to each other. They're separated by maybe 100-something blocks of distance tops. Cool. Awesome. Why couldn't I have found this earlier? Running out of places to fly. Ow. Not nice. Whoa, coming in hot. Alright, hang on. Fast. Starting to double back on ourselves here, so we do need to be mindful of that. Third bastion. Third one. Great. Just what I wanted. Thanks, dick. Really. And then there's no nether fortress for freaking eons here. Watch, when I do find another fortress, it'll actually be mine. But we're in new chunks, because you could tell by how the lava was slowing downwards, so we might be lucky-ish. No, Work Forest, or Crimson Forest, so not lucky. Ideally, we find one in a Soul Sand Valley over, like, a lava lake. That would be really ideal. But, frankly, if I can just get one in the Soul Sand Valley that's exposed enough there, I'll take that instead, so, yeah, we'll figure it out. The annoying part as well is going to be cooking up enough nether bricks for it, because I think we will actually have to do something that nobody's ever done before and cook netherrack to get nether bricks to craft in the brick block. So I should let my elytra break over lava. That would be really funny and awesome. That would be so cool. It should die. But, you know, we'll be fine. We got plenty of durability, so we should be okay for a while. This kind of generation is really poor for us to fly through as well. Alright, Soul Sand Valley, I don't think we were in yet. Maybe. I'm actually not fully convinced on that. Well, looks like it because lava's still flowing. Elytra's still doing good, and then we're out of it into a basalt delta. So we're just gonna fly positive Z and just pray. I mean, that's really like my best bet right now, frankly. Is that maybe we get lucky and we're gonna do double positive as often as we can, and we're just gonna pray that we get lucky. That's literally all I got. So, yay! Hooray! Yippee. There was also a new bedrock breaking method that was discovered that doesn't rely on TNT explosions, and instead does some chicanery with like a piston clock and some redstone dust and scaffolding. So we'll probably end up doing it like that, just because I think we can make a larger hole with it and do like multiple lines of bedrock at a time, which would be really cool and awesome. So we'll give that a try. And god damn it, man, you gotta get lucky sometime. I am really tempted to just open up Chunk Base and just look for one that fits what I'm looking for, but you know, that's not that that's cheating per se, because that's Chunk Base is a weird gray area. Like I don't like using Chunk Base anymore because I feel like it sucks a lot of the fun out of just exploring and not knowing what's out there. Because if I do open up Chunk Base, I'm going to look at Chunk Base for 3 hours straight and try to find shit. So as shitty as this may be, this is kind of what we're stuck doing because there is no other alternative to finding one in a specific valley. So, yeah. So it's just a matter of flying around the world long enough till we get lucky and come across it. And given our recent luck here, that may... I fucking bashed it again! Where was this before when I was looking for netherite, man? Come on. Seriously, what the hell? Why couldn't I have had that earlier? Oh well. Not cool, but hey, it is what it is. Ooh, got a little bit too close to the ceiling there to brush into that. Did not like that. Alright, Basalt Delta again. I have not even seen a fortress in a while here. That's nice. Yeah. And you're gonna hear me bitch about this. We will find it at the end, but you're gonna hear me bitch about it the whole way through. Because that's how these things tend to go. Because we're just flying blindly through the nether, considering we have nether fog, because I don't play with any shaders or anything of the sort, so I can't disable it. So, yeah, this is the true nether experience. Well, getting intended. Alright, right about now would be a really good time to find a nether fortress, because we're smack dab in the middle of a nice open part of a Soul Sand Valley. Man, I should start saying shit more often. That's insane. Well, fuck, man, this is great. Oh, good thing we landed, too, because we're actually running quite low on fireworks at the moment. Couple of things. I'm gonna pop that there for right now, and we're gonna try and skedaddle on this shit. So, cobblestone box. I have not refilled this yet. I need to remember to do this very soon. But we're taking our cobblestone box, because this is a necessity at the moment. Goes back in there. Yep, there we go. Silk touch. What? Goes in there. That goes there. This comes back with me. We get an extra bundle. Bundle up our nether mob drops. And then we are going to get some scaffolding here. And then we're just going to go ahead, build this up till we get up into the roof. This may get shot down, but that's alright for now. Oop, put that guy out of his misery. And we'll do this until we hit some bedrock. And we hit some bedrock. Cool. Alright, from here, what we're looking for on our F3 screen is our targeted block needs to have a Y coordinate of 127. I think we just found it right here. Yep, perfect. There we go. Then we can go ahead and just seal all of this off. Like so. Alright, then now from here, we're going to go ahead and grab our coordinates book. We need to gain the coordinates book, and we're going to write down farm is going to be at negative 1979, 127, 2660. There we go. So that will get us formally into here. It's simple. Alright, and then now we can go ahead and try and prep the site for what we gotta do. Now we'll go ahead and keep the cobblestone on us. Here, wither skeleton already, so that's good. Wrong way. Okay, we'll do a little something like that. That'll close us off against any ghast here, which is great. That's why we have so many turns, so if a ghast shoots, it's not going to be able to physically hit the scaffolding part. At least it shouldn't, so we should be okay. Oh, we got a wither skeleton. Perfect. I'm only trying to kill you, man. Come on. Be nice. Scaffolding box, scaffolding goes back, the scaffolding box. There we go. And then we are going to break everything in here, including blaze spawners. I do not want them. I do not care for them. They serve me no purpose, and they make life harder. So we're going to go ahead and rot through everything, and we are going to obliterate it. And we've even got a pretty good area to do all this in, I would say. I think that's a good intersection. So we're going to make sure we note that by lighting this one the fuck up with like a bunch of torches. So this is what we want. That's what it's all about right there. Additionally, we have a dual intersection too that could prove to be quite useful. It's all nice. Yeah, we got some diamonds. Cool. Being a hater. Ow. This should be a very good fortress for us to work with. Right. Toughest part of any wither skeleton farm, and this is unfortunately on the border of like a nether waste, so this is actually quite tragic. This was almost like flawless, but it is going to be a little suboptimal unless I can find a better crossroads deeper into the Soul Sand Valley portion. That's the only possible thing I could do. Additionally, it just says the Nether. So, actually, we could have still been in... Nope, Nether Waste. So, yep, so this is right on the border, so this is going to be a little bit tougher. So on the other hand, or not. Diamonds may not be as valuable anymore, but like, you know, you're always still going to be happy to find them, if you're going to be completely honest here. Let's grab another couple of stacks of torches from a light box. This is also exactly why I carry the light box, so yeah. Tragically, yeah, we're tragically too close to another way, so this may not be the one. Damn it if this ain't the best one I got for right now, so... Yeah, unless we get an intersection... Really? Dude. It's just on the border of too many things. Maybe it'll be okay, but I somehow doubt that. Okay, we will keep this one in mind. This is a good candidate, but I don't think it's anything more than that. It's just, well, candidate. Additionally, we found the blaze spawner. Should we break that? Damn, jump scared me a little bit there. A little jumpy today, apparently. This zombie piglin being up here is gonna be fucking annoying. Because he's right in my way. And I don't want to swing and hit him by accident either. He's a dick. Luckily we can tank their hits quite well, so we don't have to worry about that too much. But make sure to resupply on food in the near future too. About time for that. Got another blaze spawner over there. Yep, we do. Yeah, another waste. Alright, well, this one's a bit more of a bust, unfortunately, so we are gonna have to fly out and try again. Additionally, we are quite full of shit here, so... Go. Rude. Ooh, I mean, quit being a hater. Get out of here. Alright, anyways, we need to pop in and grab a couple more firework rockets. Go. Alright, we want to go positive Z here and negative X. Both are directly into walls, so that's good. Damn. And this is the most viable one I've found. But this doesn't stretch farther into the Soul Sand Valley. So it was just unfortunately right at the border, and that's no good. That's the best we got for right now, so we may have to roll with it. I sincerely hope not, though, but we will see. I really don't want to compromise on this either, as much as I can help it. Because if I do, I know I'm going to regret it later, and I'm just going to not enjoy, like, anything at that point, because it's going to run a lot slower, and then I'm going to be like, why did I spend all this time and energy building a farm in a stupid ass location. Like, if you're gonna do something, you might as well say fuck it and do it right, go the full 100% way. And if only it could just be built in Basalt Delta, because this one would not be good because it's too close to Nether Waste, but like the other ones I've seen earlier would actually be quite solid, so yeah. We also need to keep in mind our Elytra durability, that's the word, is limited, so we want to make sure we're careful on that. I really should go to the end and go fly around and go try to get a couple more Elytra, because I think that's a worthwhile investment to make, so we'll probably do that today too, because all we're doing right now is we're just scouting for the Nether Fortress that we need here. Really wish I would have found one in that Soul Sand Valley rather than one I'm still in, because this would have been like prime territory for that. Okay. A little too fast, up into a dead end, so not good. Raise to no -X, that's good. Flying through all this. Again, another one in a damn Basalt Delta. It's just not cool. It's on the border again, but that's even worse because since it's on a border, we're less likely to find one within a certain range. That's not nice. Now it's Nether Waste, so we got another small, shitty Soul Sand Valley. Yeah, like one right in here would have been perfect. Well, not perfect, I guess, because Basalt Delta. Ow. Didn't think they could hit me like that, I'm not gonna lie, but that's fine. Alright, -X, +Z, that's still where we're going, so we're trying our best here. And the farther out we fly, the longer our ice boat road is going to have to be as well. That's another thing to note, too. So ideally, this doesn't happen for too long, because we're going to have to build out that whole ice boat road by hand. Which means we'll have to place, like, if we go out to 10,000, we'll have to place, like, 5,000 blocks of packed ice by hand to travel 10,000 blocks. So that would be super unideal, because I want actual infrastructure. I don't want to just be like, yeah, I'll just put on my Elytra and fucking fly everywhere. Because even though we can do that, since we do have the resources, I don't know, I feel like that's kind of lame right now, and I've been doing so good at sticking with, like, the Iceboat Road infrastructure that, like, I don't want to fuck it up either, you know? So, we may try to double back to -Z here, if that's going to be the case. That way we're at least a little bit closer to our portal and existing infrastructure. And who knows, maybe there was one I missed that was super perfect, like near my base, and I can go try another direction. So, we'll see what we can do. May not be so lucky forever. Or at all, frankly, so we'll see. But yeah, we'll start trying to double back on the Z-axis here. It's a really shitty dead end, too. Like a really, really bad dead end. It's our way through here. Here we go. That's better. Nether Fortress out in Nether Waste, that's worthless. That won't do me any good. Let's actually have Basalt Delta too. We got this kind of nice one by a Wart Forest, but it's not a Soul Sand Valley, so I guess I won't do it. That's still an okay backup if needed, but preferably not. We have some kind of... What the fuck is that? Oh, chicken jockeys can still spawn. Oh, that's right. Cool. I couldn't tell what that was. I knew it was on a jockey, but... Rather that it was a jockey, but I just couldn't tell what it was. My eyes are starting to give up here. Let's maybe... Whoops. Let's maybe try and readjust. Oh, shit. Okay, don't do that. That was almost bad. Yeah, we're still trying. Okay, we got another nether fortress. This one. This one. Almost. Fuck, man, it was almost good, and then it's just too close to. Ooh, rude. Alright, didn't hit me, bitch. Alright, anyways. Just too close. And then, see, that fucked us up, because now, instead of having it in here, it had to be out there. That's not cool for us at all here. Damn, that would have been it. That would have been actually so nice, but no, no luck. So the search continues. It's been 2 hours since I refixed my stream, so it's been longer than 2 hours of streaming today. Or at least for this session. It just kind of got fucked up because OBS shit its pants and died. I really don't know what the hell happened there, man. I have not really seen that happen before with OBS. Not in like years, so it was something with how it was connecting internet-wise, I guess. But damn it, and then this is just right outside of it again. Fuck, man. Our elytra is also taking quite a beating here, so we want to make sure we have enough durability to get back. And additionally, I should actually pack some XP bottles and a shulker box and an ender chest. So I think that's worth doing because we definitely need fixable elytra. We either need XP bottles to fix elytra as like a last ditch emergency, or we need at least like 4 other elytra to be able to hot swap and give ourselves like a lot more durability. I'm leaning towards the getting more elytra, the hot swap kind of bit. Got another bastion, don't care, didn't ask, Elpis ratio, or whatever. Still are flying out in the world. God damn it, this is in another bad biome. It's way up in the ceiling too. It's a really weird, shitty one anyways for what we're looking for, so won't do us no good. By the way, the reason we want this in a Soul Sand Valley isn't necessarily because it's better. Well, actually, no. Let me rephrase that. It is better, but the only reason we want it is because that's less spawn proofing work for us to do, right? And that's also why you want it to be open air because there's less chance of there being caves if it's open in the air and no caves can fucking spawn because it's in the open air, right? So that's why we are hell bent on finding that specific match of stuff. Which I feel like this Soul Sand Valley, you gotta give me something here, Doc. Like, come on. There's gotta be something in this massive fucking Soul Sand Valley. No. No, there isn't. Why would there be? Because that would actually make sense and would be nice, right? You can't fucking have that. Oh, no, here's a fucking bastion. That's neat. Didn't ask. Damn you. Not cool. Reload on fireworks. And the search continues evermore. And another bastion. Okay. So in spots where it would have been perfect to have a fortress, we get 2 bastions, which locks us out of having a fortress, because they can't spawn that close to each other. Okay. Yep. Nice. Freaking sweet. I think we're still doing okay on elytra durability. We're at 169 here. So we used up about 2/3. Once it hits about 50, we need to like just beeline it home. Like we don't need to worry about anything else. We want to get straight home to prevent any issues. This would have been a cool one, but I don't know about the Salt Delta one, so we'll try and keep looking for Soul Sand Valley. We'll find it at some point again, can't stress that enough. It will happen, but till it does, I'm gonna bitch about it. But if Mojang could pretty please give me a cool little place to do this in, this would be super awesome and swag, and I wouldn't have to spend another 15 billion hours doing this, so that would be cool. lot of endermen there. Alright, come on. Oh, I don't like this. Ow. $47. Nope. Okay. I had to get height, fortunately. Alright, let's readjust here for a little bit. Damn. Fly back out the way we came. I don't think this is the way to go. Problem is, right now, I don't actually have many ways to go. Ooh, boy. Yeah, this is bad. This is, no bueno. No good. Have that ready. Starting to double back on ourselves quite hard here. Uh-oh. Oh! Nope. Hold up. I got way too close there. Man, this would be like such a good spot for it. Yes! Please! No! No! Who would do such a fucked up thing? Oh. Well, okay, look. Okay. Couple of things. We are in a fucking war zone right now, so let's maybe not be in a war zone. And let's think about this. This might be the best I get for right now. I don't know if it really gets better than this, frankly. I'm just not sure. That guy fucking not. Okay. This could at least get me one more skull. I would at least be happy enough with it. Okay. So here's the deal. If we're willing to do all the spawn proofing, I think this could be viable. That is a big if, but I don't think it's impossible. Because remember, the only reason we want that in a Soul Sand Valley is for spawn proofing, right? So if we really are willing and we're committed, we can definitely make the buttons for it, and we can just button it all up. We can button up all this Crimson Waste shit, and go pick one. Rather, we can pick an intersection that's as far away from solid ground and as far away from these fucked up biomes as possible. And that'll be our best bet. It has got to have an intersection like this here. This is in a Soul Sand Valley, which is quite nice. But it is very close to a Crimson Forest. And I think it's just too close. I think it's just too close to shit. And I just, again, if I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do it the whole way. So, unfortunately, we're gonna have to ditch this one. Oh, hey, what's up, dude? Rude. We're gonna have to ditch this one. Unless we're incredibly lucky and this somehow goes into here farther. This is just really fucked up and evil. And I'm very not happy with that. Because that was it. That would have been perfect. You would have had the absolute perfect one, finally. but it's just a little too far out of whack, and an intersection just does not line up in a good spot that I would be happy with building in, which is really upsetting. Also, I think this is back in on myself where I was before, so we may be retreading old ground here. Bastion, Bastion, Bastion in a weird spot. I don't want to be here for that. So much more Nether, so much more Soul Sand Valley. We're good to put anything. Oh, keep looking. We're at 107 durability, so our time is wrapping up here. We've only got so much search time left in us. We've got another fucking Basalt Delta one, because of course we do. That's nice. Another Nether fortress that we don't care about. But it's not a particularly good area, again. So we search yet again. Alright, we're down to 100 durability here. So, be a little careful. Keep working our way home. Luckily, we're within the area now by quite a good bit, so we should be okay. Alternatively, if we had one in a nice warped forest, that would be really good too, so it's either one of those. Okay, again, Soul Sand Valley. Looks promising. Soul Sand Valley, made of Soul Sand, right? But does it have a Nether fortress deep enough in the heart of it for it to matter? This would be about the area I would want it if there was, but there ain't. Not that I see, and now we're out to Crimson Forest. Let's see if Jeb Mojang hates me or not. And we'll scout more of this Soul Sand Valley and still find nothing. But as soon as we get close to another biome, then we'll end up finding something, as is tradition. Additionally, we are starting to run out of fireworks, and our electric durability is starting to take a little bit of a beating here. So we may have to call it quits on the search for right now and start heading back to our base. Speaking of which, do I even have... Let's see here. Our base nether is at negative 3,000, negative 126, so we need to start going negative Z if we want to start getting closer home. And we've only got 21 rockets. We have more in our shulker box, but that means I would actually have to land and do shit. Damn it, this would have been a good spot too. Fuck, man. Actually, no, I guess it wouldn't have, but... Come on, man. Quit fucking with me. It's not cool. Oh, wait, no, excuse me. It was negative X, and then we needed to go positive Z. So we need to loop around a little bit more here. Oh, go. Could it be? No. No, it couldn't be. Just out of range yet again. So close, but too far. Alright, well, we're down to 17 rockets and counting here. We're within about 800 blocks of our base, so that's neat. This would, again, prime spot for a fucking fortress, but nothing. Practically, we got nothing here. And it's a fucking bastion! Dude. Makes this game, man. Like, why? Both 49 durability. Alright. The next fortress we see should be our home fortress, so won't do us too good here, unfortunately. Should be coming up on our house here. Yeah, here we go. Made it back home. It's such a shame, man. And I mean, look, we can build it here, but we gotta understand by doing that, we are setting ourselves up for failure in certain regards, because we will have to do so much more spawn proofing than we absolutely need to. But at the same time, I kind of would rather just get it over with and just have it. Because at least then I would have it really close to my base, frankly, and then that would save a ton of infrastructure and travel time, so that would be worth it too. And we got our Elytra fixed up a good bit, so I guess it's fine. Alright. We still have just a bunch of leftover nethery bits from all the other times we got mining here. That's neat. And again, it's so close to a Soul Sand Valley that it's almost good. It's almost good. It's just not quite good. That is really just a freaking shame. Yeah, because here's the ice boat road that I use. And it just does not extend far enough. The fortress doesn't extend far enough for this to be cool. Because this is all another way, so we would have to spawn proof every single block you're looking at up here. You have to spawn proof. Now, I did the math on it, and like a 128 by 128 square is like 16,000 blocks or something like that. Let me double check that. Yeah, it's 16,384, which, putting that in terms of stacks, is 256 stacks. In terms of shulker boxes, is 9.5 shulker boxes, just full of buttons, that we then have to manually place by hand and fucking do it all. And that's assuming that there only needs to be one per Y level. When you get something like that, there needs to be multiple. So it would actually be considerably more if we did it here. Now again, that's not to say that it's impossible to do it here. We can build it anywhere, but the extra effort that's required is just so goddamn absurd that it can't be worth it, you know? It just cannot be freaking worth it versus going out and finding a better fortress, so. At least that's how I feel about it personally, so that's the deal. And, you know, while we're here at the Blaze Farm, we'll farm a couple blazes and get our Elytra fixed up. You never have too many of these. And hey, our Elytra's doing quite good, so that's all nice. If I can at least get one more skull, it'd be really cool, but nope, no more skull, dang. No extra skull. Oh well. Let's go back up to the entrance. Because maybe there is somewhere better we can do this at. And maybe we could just coat everything in lava and shit would spawn. I don't know, but we'll try flying another direction here. Our Elytra's fixed up a lot better, and we still do have a lot of Soul Sand Valley out here that's quite untapped. So again, having one like right up in here would be like perfect, but that was a regular skeleton, not a wither skeleton falling down. I don't think we'll get one this close to where our other one is. Also, we need to take that out because I'm going to switch that mid-flight and just fall and die, so Let's not do that. Alright, well, let's fly back through again. Bastion. Oh, wait, is this a treasure bastion? I think it is. This would have been nice to know. Could it be? Nope, Netherweight. Wait! It was almost... No! You can't keep doing this to me, man. That was almost great. Look at this thing. It's like smack dab in the middle of a nether waste, and then it's surrounded by a basalt delta and a soul sand valley, not in a soul sand valley. Like, you're telling me you can't just shift this shit just a little bit farther out, you know? Like, at all. We're good enough on durability now, we can go try this again. Alright. Again, Nether Fortress neither a warp forest because Endermen very rarely spawn here, or Soul Sand Valley. Or if it's over a big enough lava lake, we can accept that too. That's the other deal that I'm willing to accept. So, that's just how it is, and it's how it's got to be. There's a bastion we found ages ago. That's cool. Here's another freaking fortress, but it's all closed in and stumpy. And it's not in a good biome anyway, so it's not worth it. It's a fucking massive fortress that actually seems to go over enough lava that maybe it's viable. We could do this one, I think. I think this one is doable. Okay, a couple of things. Let's get that back on. Lucky he didn't actually hit me, because he's bad, because I'm also bad at aiming too. Okay, so we would have to cut away or button up all the small islands and like shit like this. But I think this is our most viable one yet. If there was ever a fortress, it could be this one. We'll go kill these wither skeletons here too. Not to mention it's a double intersection, so it's quite good for that alone. Okay, so let's think about this. We are physically standing at, we're going to write this down, 37, 35, negative 10, 72. We want to check 128 each direction. So if we're looking positive x, 128 will be about 3860. Okay, wrong way. Let's try that again with better math. Minus 128 would be about 3600 flat. So, and remember, it is a circular radius. I know I had talked about it being in a square, but that was more just to simplify things. But it is a circular radius. So it would only go out to about here. So this isn't too bad to button up. So this direction is fine. So positive x is good. What about negative x? Oh, skull. Hey. Nice. So hey, we can at least get some roses here. So positive x is fine. And then we'll try negative x. Now, we won't count this stuff per se, because that's going to be a little annoying. We should be looking at, I don't know, like 3860 is where the ball stops. So 3860 goes out to here into a soul sand valley, which is fine because that means we want to spawn proof it. So we would basically have to wait a minute. No, nether way still. Right, okay. Anyways, like I was saying before I got distracted by a fake one, 3860 ends somewhere in this lava lake that we're at right now, so we would have to button up some of this stuff here, which is still fine. So it's good in that direction. Now we go into the Z's here. Okay. Bit of a fight. Go. Alright, and then again, we'll check all of the Z's here in a second. I just want to make sure I get rid of all these with their skeletons that are nearby. Rude. Alright. And let's read our chords. 1072. So if we're going negative Z from 1072, that should be at about 1200. Which, yeah, I mean, it goes into here a little bit, but it's not unmanageable. It is a little annoying, but it's not impossible. It goes to about here. And then that also means like this whole strip getting closer to this lava lake. And then that also means all of this stuff, which this is where it gets a lot more annoying. Not unmanageable, but just definitely more annoying. And then that means that if we're at negative 1072 minus 128, that would be however many blocks. I can't do math right now because I'm flying and I don't want to get distracted. 1072 minus 128 would be about 150, or 950 rather. So we'd have to go to 950 in the other direction to see how that looks. And then 950 is going to include this whole thing up until probably about that intersection or something. So I think that's still doable. I think it's going to be a lot of buttons. I'm not denying that. But I don't think it's impossible. I think we could really do it. We have the wood for it too as well. So remember, our bamboo farm, that's not good just for chests. That's wood. You know, you can make buttons out of that. And we can solve that. So it really is just a matter of placing down enough. And just doing what you can. So with that being said, let's go ahead and try and clear out the remaining fortress here as best as we can. Oh, we got a pigman with a spear, and that's cool. Make sure to eat too. Go. Yeah. We could definitely do this. It's gonna be quite tough, but this is the most viable one we've had. And additionally, it's actually not too far from our base, so we're gonna go ahead and switch these cords out. And we actually need to put up some scaffolding first. Go ahead and get some cobble. Go. And yeah, we will bit by bit start working on clearing that out in the near future, but we're not doing that today because this is a much bigger project than I can handle at the moment. We just don't have the resources collected even to begin, so we would have to work on that, and then additionally, again, we will have to prep all of the extra buttons and just prep the land itself too. Because the biggest time sink we're going to have to spend is going to be land prep. Just the amount of shit that we have to place down to get this ready to be usable is quite nuts on its own. So, yeah. But it should be worth it once it's all done. Gonna be very happy that I built it. We'll be able to make a ton of beacons, and we'll get a ton of colon bones too, which is always nice. And it won't take long to get a ton of skulls for a bunch of shit. So, yeah, that'll be cool. Coming up on the bedrock here very soon. Hit have 3 to look at our targeted block. Poke around the roof here for 127. So now we want to go ahead and grab our coordinates log. Do our Wither Skeleton farm is at negative 3738, 127, negative 1058. That will get us the entrance, and then we have marked the exact chunk that we want to do this at, which is fine. There we go. And then all we need to do from here is just build up a little bit more and launch an Ender Pearl. There we go. Alright, let's go ahead and look for that exact block again. 1058, 3738, 1058. Right here is where great. Can't miss that. Alright, and then let's get the hell out of here and get back home. Or rather, let's get to the end portal. Base-wise, we need to go to... Let's see here. We have a 900 block trip on the z-axis. 800 block trip on the x-axis. Great. So we need to go positive in both directions here. That's nice. Well, let's see where we're at. Positive z, positive x. Positive x it is. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Fuck it. We have the coordinates written down. I'm flying back. I don't care right now. We'll actually, again, we'll take the time to build the ice boat road that goes all the way out here. Just not right now. Because I literally do not care. But at least we have it, so that's good. I didn't think we were going to find it, frankly, with how things have been going. Oh, hey, would you look at that? We've actually already got some amount of ice boat road that we can hook up back to. Where the hell does this lead? Does this lead to my calcite mines that I have? Oh, I'm dumb. This... What the fuck? What's here? Hello? That's weird. Do I have any matching chords at this location? I do not. Well, shit. I'm gonna assume that this was me breaking out or something. Or maybe this was a treasure bastion. This was the treasure bastion. Okay, so we've actually already got a lot of the infrastructure done, if that's the case. Which is perfect. Because that means all we need to do is from this block, we're going to write 2, so that way we know where we need to build our bridge to. We're going to do negative 608. So now, all of a sudden, we only actually have about 550 blocks in the X and 450 in the Z that we need to build out to, which is great, because that cuts down our building time drastically, which is exactly what I want right now, so that's good. And then that also gives me an excuse to hook that up to the treasure bastion. We want that treasure bastion because we want to make a magma cube spawner froglight farm at some point that we're working on. And then that hooks up onto this, and that's good and cool. Additionally, what were our chords again that we're after? 1058, right, okay. And we don't really have anything that points negative x either, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, because that's not going to do it. But wait, why don't we just go farther down here instead? This was unfinished ice boat road, it looks like. Okay, well that's still good though, because we can finish this easily enough. We just need to get somewhere a little bit better. So 1058. So I wonder if I already did complete this out to 1058. I think I did. I'm trying to remember where this even went to. Where the fuck did I build this to? Was this out to like that calcite peak from a super long time ago? I think it was. Well, I say super long time ago. It was like 3 weeks ago or something. It wasn't that long ago. Long enough by now compared to what the hell has been going on. So, alright, well, I guess this is fine, frankly. So, we're going to actually do this instead. So, we're going to do this to negative 3020, negative 1059. So, okay, well, we can build out an ice boat road for only 718 blocks. That will get us hooked back up to our existing infrastructure, which we need to make sure to wall off in the near future. But at least we have a pretty sizable chunk of this all built out already. So we actually are fine. Don't have to care. Cool. And additionally, since we have 3 skulls, we can now go to the end and go do all of the bullshit that we were looking to do with spawning it after we head back to our base and go pick up a stack of soul stand. We still have to go do that. Actually, we can just pop down into the world real quick and to the nether and go get that, so that should be fun. That'll be neat. Right. There we go. This gets us back to our ladder where we all started. Cool. We'll have to make sure we break that bedrock open too at some point. And we're just gonna pop out into here real quick and we'll just mine a stack of soul sand. I know we can use soul soil, but I would rather just do sand because it feels more right, so why not? There we go. That amount of sand, we can do 16 withers, which we don't need to do that many, but just know that we can do that many. Additionally, I'm going to make sure to leave an empty shulker box there, just because I would like to make sure that I have some extra space on hand for everything, because that'll be cool. And otherwise, we will go ahead and get the boat and get the fuck out of here. So I think we want to go this way. We don't want to turn there because that's the 0, 0. We want to instead go past 0, 0. I do need to put signboards down for shit, and just in my base in general too. I need signboards because I actually really need to label my storage system better because it is like unlabeled and it hurts. So you know, yeah. I didn't even notice Tobal made a fucking pun that said "Wither Rose." Come on, Tobal, I'm gonna have to kill you now. That's not cool. Good try though. Oh, back to bullshit. Let's go ahead and dump all of these infestation potions in. We'll do a quick run of this to show this is a proof of concept, and then we should be fine. So let's go ahead and pop that down. All goes into there. Cool. This comes back with me. Alright, and then additionally, we can go ahead and start drowning these guys. We should hear him start to take damage here very soon. Alright, moment of truth. I assume this is fine. Alright, I don't want to blow out your guys' eardrums either, so let's go ahead and just turn this down a little bit. Full sand stays up there. Hey, there we go. We got ourselves our little Wither Rose farm. Now we wait. We're just gonna sit here and wait for a little while, so it is what it is. Go. Right. There we go, 2 stacks of roses. That's 128. Remember, we're looking for 2,000 and change. So, 128 isn't bad. It is a far cry from what we need to get. So, about a tenth of the way there with what we have now. We're at 20th, and now we should be about a 10th. Additionally, we can let that run, and then we can just hang out up here and wait. Once these guys decide that they want to stop making silverfish, we will go ahead and get all this fixed up. Still making plenty. I also was looking into a way to heal the Wither, but it looks like the only way is going to be by instant harming too, and like, it's just too much of an investment on that front to do that. So I would rather just grind the skulls, frankly, as annoying as it is. Alright, we are past the halfway point just about now. So we should be getting ready to launch another potion here very soon. Then additionally, we'll use that as an opportunity to fix up our stuff. It should be fine. Oh, potion. Here we go. Alright, well, let's go check our numbers here then. Doing quite good still. Guys are still doing their thing. Let them keep doing their thing. Alright, Wither's almost dead. He's doing good. I wish we could toggleably suffocate him, so that way it didn't have to die guaranteed at the end. And that's really the part that hurts the most, but I guess that's fine. He is certainly living a lot longer than I thought he would have, but he still dies in the end, I'm sure. Again, we've used 2 potions worth of infestation, so we should be running out of both infestation and wither HP to actually kill it. So, yeah. Wither's almost dead. Wither dies now. Wither's dead. I go ahead and take that back. Back up to 30. There we go. And then we pop on down here. Just beat these guys to death. There we go. Get all of our tools all fixed up. Additionally, we got another star for that, which is always nice. Take that with us. That'll make our beacon. Alright. So, let's see how we're doing. We should be getting the last of our items flowing in a moment. I think so. Don't think we're that backed up, are we? Oh shit. Yeah, that's good. Nice. That's super freaking cool. We were quite heavily backed up there. So now it stopped. Okay, hey, that's a lot better. So, we actually won't need to grind that long for it, if you could believe it. So, 2 infestation potions. That's all we used. So 2 infestation potions and 1 wither. So we do have to get 3 skulls every time we do this. But we got 18 stacks of roses. Now remember, 18 times 64 is 1,152. So if we get that to repeat again, we will actually get all of our wither roses and just 2 withers. That is freaking huge, man. That's so good. We can do a lot with that. Damn. Alright. Well, I could probably go grind for those real quick, just that way we can get this done and we don't have to think about this. Let me double check off of that tutorial. I will not post a link to it yet, because I don't plan on building it today, but we will be building it very soon. Probably, we could probably try and build it next stream. So we need 2,094 wither roses. So if we do 36 times 64, that's 2,304. So that gives us like 210 extra wither roses in case anything bad happens. So, with that being said, that's fucking lit. That is so good. That is so, so good. I love that. We're gonna get the hell out of here, and we are gonna go grind for 3 more. I'm frankly amazed that I actually made something like that that works. So that was pretty cool. We got that wandering trader nearby. He can go suck a lemon. Alright, and additionally, I should probably put at least some of this away. We'll put away the redstone and the rails and just simple stuff like that. And the hoppers. That, I'll put away. And then we will hold on to the rest of the dispenser as well. Put that away too. We'll hold on to the rest of that for now. Glass shit can be put away later. Okay, back through the nether here real quick to go grind for more skulls. So we can still use our existing nether fortress for manual grinding just to kind of hold us over. But yeah, obviously we will switch over to the Wither Skeleton farm once that's done. So that'll be cool. Again, it's gonna take some time. Not too big of a rush for it now that we got the functioning Wither Rose farm of our own creation, which is quite nice. And I say of our own creation kind of loosely here, you know, we're just tacking on a silverfish farm that somebody else made, but the actual funneling system and whatnot I have not seen nor used a tutorial for. I've just done the best I can to forcefully test it out in a creative world, and that's what we came up with. So yeah, we brute forced it quite well. We sat down, we did the work, and it paid off because we got a pretty nice wither farm, or wither rose farm rather. Wither roses aren't really useful for anything other than farming wither skeletons, I think. So like, this isn't a particularly crazy good thing. Except for black dye. You know what? Since we don't actually have a black dye farm yet, that's actually the only way we can viably farm black dye at the moment. So fine, yeah, we'll take that. That's a good dub. So why not? We should also maybe work on making this better at some point too. Dang, nothing came back. That's lame. Nothing again. Shoot, that stinks. They didn't drop anything cool. What a shame. Okay, and if nothing wants to spawn, there's not a lot we can do to make it spawn. So, that's nice. They could physically just fly away and fly back, and maybe that would make things a little bit better. Nope. Got a blaze to spawn. At least, I guess that's cool. Got a little something to spawn. Grab that a little bit. Yeah, at this rate, I don't think we're gonna be able to get 3 skulls, frankly, the way things are going, so it's just dead. They're gonna run corner to corner, and maybe that'll help spawn stuff, but I think I have it in me to do this for however long it takes to actually get more spawns, so which that's fine. We're not in a rush to get it done today or nothing. I would like to start building it next stream, but at the same time, who's making me build it next stream? No one. So, it's ready when it's ready to be built, right? That's all there is to it. We'll head back to base and call it a day there. See anything else, so yeah, alright, well. Yeah, we'll head back to base and call it a day. It's been probably about 5 hours of streaming, I think. We'll actually check on the Shulker Shell farm first before we officially call it. So let's go ahead and climb back up to the roof here and go peek on that. And it's not even like the farm won't work until the proofing is done. It's just it'll work less until the proofing is done, so we can at least build it and then take like a stream or 3 to like proof the rest of it. So we don't have to get like all the buttons down in one go, you know. we can't afford to just like take it easy a little bit and just build the farm in relative peace and then just do what we gotta do from there. And we'll just take the chunk loader portal. I got the item that popped through, that's fine. Go. That's actually less than I was expecting. That makes me a little worried. Not feeling that. And the fact that I haven't seen a new one in all this time that I've been standing here means something is very bad. And we need to implement better backups. Yep, sure shooting. It looks like the farm is out of service. Now, luckily, that's still okay enough. Let's also hit our hitboxes here because I think that also means that all of the backup ones are completely gone. Which that is almost definitely what that means. Yeah, we have a wandering trader here too, by the way, so that's cool. Good for him. What do you got here, bud? What do you want to sell? I don't like you very much. I guess the invisibility potion he sold was kind of cool, but he's dead now, so it's too late. That's alright. Cost of leather, don't need that. Alright, well, let's go ahead and get ourselves our kit that we have, just for implementing a couple new shulkers, so we can jumpstart this again. This should be fun. Or you could just not teleport ever, that's fine too. I remember why I hate this! God damn it, man. You're the stupidest, fattest bitch. I'm gonna fucking strangle you. I hate you so much right now. I'm over this guy. This guy's a dick. Over shulkers. I did this already. I'm good. I don't want to keep doing this forever. I did my time here. Hit yourself. Don't like that. Okay. That was also our last instant health potion. So I'm really hoping he doesn't die here, because if he does, I don't have any physical backups here, which I should probably keep, but, you know, it's fine. Dude, come on. Please, just glowed. No, I couldn't stop it in time. Just glowed. Perfect. Alright, got it. Alright, that should trigger the activated rail, sending it back up into the farm. And now the farm should be kick-started here a little bit. Just need to pop in there and grab that. There we go. That should go ahead and get this farm jump-started again. You fucking doo-doo head. Come on, man. Not nice. Let's try and get another one in there, too. Just for good measure. Hey, dude, come on. Look at me. You can also hit yourself while you're open, so that way I can kidnap one of you again. Come on. There we go. He hit me. Okay, that should be plenty there. Should have dropped off another one at the farm to get us started a little bit better. Oops. Oh well. Alright, that should be okay. Alright. That should have kick-started everything back into gear, so we should be fine. I'll let the shulker bullets just kind of do their thing. It's whatever. Yep, that kick-started it back up again. And we're getting shells. Cool. Alright, so unfortunately not as many as I would have liked because it did end up breaking, so we will have to develop a new system that can account for that a little bit better. Because our current system just doesn't quite do it for us, so we need to have like one or two of them that only appear at like very rare intervals to keep things flowing smoothly. But for now, it's okay. We don't really need to worry about it that much. We got more shells than we're realistically going to use for quite a long time, so we should be fine. You know, we updated most of our storage to go off the shulker boxes already, so the surplus that we have is just that, a surplus. It's not a necessity anymore, so that's cool. But yep, we'll go ahead and head on back into our base here, and we should be good. There we go. Alright, well, we're gonna go ahead and go up to our bed and call it a day, because it has been 3 hours, 4 hours on this stream, and like 2.5 on the other, so it's been like 6 hours of streaming a day. But yeah, that being said, thank you all for watching, and I hope to see y'all again next time. Bye-bye.